All right, second video for the day. Solve each proportion problem. This is really cool. Just the directions themselves tell us this is a proportion problem, so I know automatically I can set up a proportion. I can make it look like a factor puzzle if I need to draw the boxes or not. Totally up to you guys. But in this lesson, I'm going to talk about something called cross product solving. And because you can use calculators, you might think this is really cool instead of trying to find the greatest common factor, instead of trying to, um, and divide and all that kind of stuff. So setup is the same. On one street, there are 2 dogs for every 5 cats. First rule that I will be looking for on any of your work, if you're asking for help, is did you identify the ratio in words? Here it's dogs and cats. So that's going to be my ratio, and that's going to be the order. Dogs to cats. I'm defining the ratio that's in the story in words first. And that's how I'm going to set up my proportion here. There are 2 dogs for every 5 cats on the street. If 16 dogs live on the street, how many cats are there? Okay, so this is the question we're looking for here. I'm going to start making this look a little more like middle school math in my notation. And I'm going to put a variable there, an unknown amount. We're looking for how many cats. So I'm going to give it the letter C for cats. Okay, at this point, you can go back to your old factor puzzle, but sometimes we're going to find out that you're not going to get whole number factors that work. So there's something called a cross product strategy. That is, you look at your diagonals, okay, and you write multiplication sentences. Products are multiplying. So 2 times C is the same value as 16 times 5. To figure out the value for C, we're going to undo this multiplying by 2, and we're going to divide it by 2, and then we have to divide the other side by 2. Okay, so they're probably going, what's all this about undoing and doing the opposite by dividing, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to tell you this. To find the answer for C, grab your calculator, multiply and enter in your cross product where you have 2 numbers. You would multiply these and then divide by this lonely guy. Okay, this lonely 2, he doesn't have a factor pair to go with it to multiply. He's got the unknown, or she's got the unknown value. So you just, once you set it up, you grab your calculator, multiply your cross products, enter in 16 times 5, do not hit equals, and then hit the division key, divide by 2 for your answer of 15. Okay, moving ahead so I don't take up too much of your time. I have 60 blue marbles and 105 red marbles. What is the basic ratio of blue to red? Okay, so this one's a little different because they're looking for the basic ratio. If this were a Get More Math question, they would ask for this ratio to be reduced or simplified. So I'm going to write it out, ratio in words. Blue marbles to red marbles. And you'll understand why I put so much space here. 60 blue marbles to 105 red marbles. And they're looking for the basic ratio. I'm going to switch colors here because I can. And that means I am looking for the greatest common factor of this ratio. I'm looking for the basic ratio, so I'm trying to simplify this ratio. Now, I remembered one of my rules is that if it ends in 0 and or 5, it's divisible by 5. And look at that, 5 and 0. So I know that I'm going to give this one a try. And grab my calculator and divide 60 by 5, which is 12, and 105 divided by 5, which is 21. Uh-oh. This one might get a little tricky, but I know this just because I'm old and I've been teaching this a lot. These two, this is not the basic ratio because both of these are divisible by 3. So I have to do one more step. And I think if you remember, I'm running out of room here. Miss Treffry talked about the cake. It looks like a cake top. The top of your cake should be your basic ratio. So I'm going to carry my work over here so I don't go over my headings. I know these are both divisible by 3, which is 4 and 7. And the greatest common factor of 4 and 7 is 1. So this is my basic ratio, 4 to 7. So make sure you read the questions carefully so that you're answering what they're asking you to do. Okay, what is the basic ratio of blue to yellow for a paint mixture of 15 cans blue cans to 21 yellow? So this one, this question number 9, give it a shot. Try it out. Pause the video, give it a try, see what the answer is. This one, the work would be similar to question number 7. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna fill in the answers. You pause and you give these. Okay, hopefully you took my advice and you actually tried these problems out for practice before you went to your homework. Basic ratio, blue to yellow, that's the order of the words, so make sure your answer is also in the same order. That's important as well. You can't just, these are just aren't interchangeable. The values have to match you, the ratio as it is in words in the question or story. Here is a basic proportion question. 6 of Susan's cookies to 5 of Tara's. How many of Susan's cookies do we have? How much if Tara's cookies weigh 15? Once it's set up correctly, grab your calculator, cross multiply on your calculator. Here's where I have 2 numbers diagonally, so I would punch in 6 times 15, and then I would divide by this lonely guy here that doesn't have a factor diagonally from it. Okay, there's some more practice problems here. I'm going to just I'd like you to pause the video, give them a try on a sheet of scratch paper. You don't have to copy the problem on your scratch paper, but you can check your work and see. And you can see that 9 and 10 is repeated. So I'm going to scroll down and give 11 and 12. I'll put the answers here. You pause the video and you give them a try and see if you come up with the same answers I do. Okay, I tricked you there a little bit. Allie bought vegetables at the market. She chose 6 tomatoes and 9 peppers. Then she chose 8 carrots. How many onions did Allie buy? And no clue. There's not enough information for us to determine how many onions Allie bought at the grocery store. So hopefully you caught on to that one really sooner than later. Here we do have a rate situation. This is not a rate situation. Andrew and Barbara began collecting rocks at the same time. Andrew adds 5 rocks to his collection at the rate Barbara adds 7 to hers. How many rocks will Barbara have collected when Andrew has 30 rocks? So here's Andrew's collecting to Barbara's, and you can abbreviate in your work. When Andrew has 5, Barbara has 7. That's why in their same row. If Andrew has 30, can we use this information to figure out how many Barbara has? Absolutely. This is called a proportion. Once you set it up, you can now grab your calculator, multiply your cross products diagonally. 30 times 7 divided by 5. Do not hit equals in between here, or you can if you want, but I just think it's one long equation, so that's good. 30 times 7 divided by the lonely guy of 5 because he doesn't have a factor pair diagonally. A solution of 42 rocks. Okay, one last example here. Some of you saw this question yesterday in Think Central. You can go back and fix it if you want to, if you just saved and closed because you didn't know how to solve this one. Grandma made applesauce using the same number of bags of red apples to yellow apples. And I know this is going to be a proportion situation because same number of bags in a pattern. So she buys the same number of red apples every time she buys a certain number of yellow apples. When she checks out at the checkout lane, red apples cost her $10 and yellow apples cost her $14. I used her recipe, but I wanted to make more applesauce. So I ended up at the checkout lane paying $35 for my yellow apples. Fill in the ratio table that could be used to determine my red apples cost. So when you're faced with this question in Get More Math, you can set it up like this. And some of you quickly forgot how our proportions are related to our ratio tables. Okay, so why am I setting it up like this? So here is my factor puzzle. You can draw it on your scratch paper. I'm going to start with this row. Now remember, when I find the greatest common factor here of this row, these numbers up here, these factors up here, become my basic ratio, which becomes the first row up here that all these other ratios are related back to. So this one is 2, so this becomes 5 to 7. So the basic ratio is 5 to 7, greatest common factor. So then you can just multiply this basic ratio by this linking unit out here on the left. So 5 to 7 times 1 is 5 to 7. 5 to 7 times 2 is 10 to 14. 5 to 7 times 3, and I'm going to do this really quickly. Oh, hey, look at here. This 35, I can use this ratio table, and then because it's a constant rate and there's a pattern to the pricing, when there's $35 for yellow apples, it would be $25 for red apples. And that's how this problem works. And then you can just finish out the table before Think Central will let you go on to the next problem. Okay, here, this problem can be solved by solving this proportion. I wanted to point this one out. This doesn't look like any of the other examples, but here, this is going to be the same answer. So this question is, what is the value of C? So when you work out the factor puzzle and you get an answer, that is also the same answer as what is the solution to the problem. Okay, so we found that our proportion with the apple problem is 25. Or no, I can't remember. I think it's 10. But it's the same thing. So then what's the solution to the problem? Or you can use your ratio table. 4 to 6, look for where 15 is, and then it's 10. So in both answers, it's 10. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. You're not going to have two different answers for these boxes. Once you find the value of C, it is the same answer down here, only it's a dollar amount. I don't think we need any more help following solving factor puzzles. Definitely use scratch paper. And here, this is just extending out the work. Just remember that rows go left to right, columns go up and down, common factor, etc. This is just a review of some vocabulary on these questions. That's all I have for today. Your homework that is due tomorrow is in Think Central, and there are 3 lessons, 11, 12, or maybe just 12 and 13. I can't remember. There might be 3, but there's still less than 20 problems that you need to complete for your class before class on Wednesday. And remember, Wednesday is a distance day. So shorten classes, but start your classes by checking each of your courses and checking Schoology for updates for the lessons for the day.